at that time anyway, Liver King was hiding a lot of shit.
Yeah.
He wasn't being really transparent. Did you see the Liver King documentary?
I did. I
it?
watched it.
We were in it, dude.
He really put a lot of weight in doing this podcast, man.
I did not think he thought it was that important. I didn't know it was like one of his first podcasts.
It certainly was one of the bigger ones that he did. He was already kind of popping at the time.
Yeah.
What channel's the doc
It's on Netflix.
So
the
on
Liver
Netflix,
King Netflix Untold documentary.
Going through like his life, how he acts, how he works, how he got big, whatever. And we have this whole segment where he comes on with the plate of liver and
Balls,
organs and
yeah.
balls and all this
Nutty.
stuff. And he said he had studied and stuff for like a month.
Yeah, a month, and he hadn't slept coming on the podcast. He like preparing for this.
And he
podcast.
said he was nervous, shaking and stuff like that.
I didn't gather any of that when he was in the room. I was like, oh, just like most of our guests, like you just go on a podcast. But he had studied. He lost sleep over it. He was nervous about it, and I think now watching the documentary, I know why. And actually kind of going back to like, your own like insecurities when people make comments about, your life, if there's truth to it. At that time anyway, Liver King was hiding a lot of shit.
Yeah.
He wasn't being really transparent.
Yeah.
And so when you have to mask yourself under a veil of lies in front of the entire internet, of course you need to do hours and hours of studying every day for a month preparing for a podcast.
Well, was there more lies than just the one?
Mike.
No,
who knows?
right?
Who knows, dude?
Like, is he actually even is he a person? Like, where did lies end?
I'll tell you one thing. I was watching this documentary and I'm fascinated by the Liver King. And it's so funny because we had that segment on the podcast where, we were talking about his lifestyle and I asked him like point blank if he did steroids and he said no. And then later in the Netflix episode, they showed me like chastising him. I'm like, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like you fucking lied to my face. I was angry.
Yeah, you were.
I was
Could
angry.
you put a lot of stock in Liver King even outside of that podcast?
Well, because I thought
You
his
loved-
message, his 9 ancestral tenets, I was like, let's go, like ground with the earth, get some sun. Like, what's the harm in that, And yeah, for the most part, it's true. It's just like, I think the vehicle in which he chose to deliver the message was riddled with lies that made people really uncomfortable. So much so that at the end of the documentary, when he's talking about the changes he's made and how, he's doing all this stuff, I think he's still fucking lying. He's still lying.
Why didn't he just?
I don't know.
But why did?
Oh shit! I saw it all happen.
Shit, everything.
I
fell
saw
over.
it all happen.
Earthquake. Why
That was crazy.
Why didn't he just tell the truth from? Like, bro,
That's my issue. No one would have cared if you're just like, dude.
Maybe is it directly counterproductive or counterintuitive to his point that he's all natural?
Yeah, obviously.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
of course. And that's his whole brand.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
not.
I disagree. That was my disconnect. It didn't feel like something he had to lie about to get the message across. In fact, it felt so ancillary that I didn't understand why he needed
why couldn't it be really, really high protein cow balls and 150 mgs a test sip every 3 days?
I think he also felt that it was really ancillary, that it was like not really necessary, to be honest about it. To be honest about it.
Bro, it's your whole ethos, though.
Yeah,
that
was the issue. That was the issue. And he was asked so many times. And it wasn't just like no, I don't do steroids. He came up with 1,000 different ways to say it.
And shamed
with his
people.
Chest out and shame people. Like, man, I really believe him. He really is like a decent actor. Like, and it's funny watching the doc, and I don't want to. Well, I guess this is what we do. We talk shit on this podcast, and he was nice enough to come on here and give us his time. But like, did you see how his older son would like react to like some of the stuff that he was like doing?
Yeah,
he looked A, pretty uncomfortable, and B, there were parts where you could kind of tell that his older son like wasn't buying the shtick. Like he kind of like snicker, when they were like in the field gutting the animal and stuff. And it was like, I know what it's like to grow up with a dad who is really out there. and who isn't like any of the other dads in the neighborhood, and how that makes you feel. And so I'm watching these boys, and my dad is like nothing like the Liver King in that regard, but in the same like, oh, your dad is a character. I get it. And I'm watching these kids, and I'm like, man, when the cameras aren't rolling, I just wonder what the dynamic is in that house.
Hey guys, if you like that clip, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to see more zany clips, click the video right here.